A bill to restrict discussions about sexual orientation and gender identity in some Georgia schools likely won't make it through the General Assembly this year.
But that hasn't stopped opponents from sounding the alarm. Fox 5's Claire Sims spoke to the bill's sponsor. She joins us live from the state capitol. And Claire, he says at this point it is just a conversation.
Yeah, the state senator who filed this bill last week said there is definitely a conversation going on around this bill after Florida lawmakers passed a similar measure last week.
I dropped the bill to start a conversation.
State Senator Cardin Summers says he's heard from a lot of parents upset that they don't have a say in what their children learn in private schools. That's why he filed what he dubbed the Common Humanity in Private Education Act. The legislation would apply to any private school in Georgia that receives state or federal funding or competes against public schools in sports. It restricts those schools from teaching concepts associated with critical race theory and bans discussions of sexual orientation or gender identity in primary grade levels.
Certain things should not be taught to kids at a certain age, and that's what we're talking about.
Summers dropped the bill just days before the crossover day deadline, meaning it doesn't really have a chance of moving forward this year. But opponents like State Senator Kim Jackson say it's still alarming.
And it does kind of raise everybody's concerns around, is this the pathway that's going to bring this bill to our public schools as well? And so we wanted to go ahead and rally the troops to get people to speak out right now.
Senator Jackson says she thinks the bill's sponsor doesn't understand how problematic the legislation is.
This isn't about restricting teachers from talking to children about sex. This isn't about sex. This is about identity and helping children to be able to understand why it is that Lily Sally likes to play what are supposed to be boy sports. They need to have an ability to talk about that.
Though Senator Summers says the bill is not intended to alienate children who have same-sex parents.
That's not what the bill was designed to do, and that's another reason why I dropped the bill, so it could not go forward, so we have time in study committees and committees to talk about the bill, because I want to hear from both sides, not just parents. I want to hear from schools, I want to hear from counselors, I want to hear from everybody. And if it's something we need to proceed forward with, then we move the bill forward.
Senator Summers insists that his bill is not the same as Florida's so-called Don't Say Gay bill, though they do include similar language. He says they will likely have a hearing on the bill sometime after crossover day, which is tomorrow. We are live at the state capitol. Claire Sims, Fox 5 News.
Hi.